Somewhere in the last few weeks, a video stopped your thumb. Bright colors, a song you hadn't heard in years. Somebody's shaky phone footage from a summer you barely remember, captioned 2016. You felt something, a small ache, right under the ribs. But the real answer is far stranger than nostalgia, because 2016 was not a good year. You know this. Go back and read what you actually wrote that year. You will not find someone having the time of their life. You will find someone anxious, broke, tired, waiting for something to start. So what happened in between? Your brain did not store 2016. It rebuilt it. And it rebuilt it wrong, on purpose, using rules older than the internet. In 1688, a Swiss medical student named Johannes Hofer studied soldiers collapsing far from home. Not from wounds. They stopped eating. Some died. He invented a word by gluing two Greek ones together. Nostos, homecoming. Algos, pain. Nostalgia. For 200 years it was treated as a disease. Doctors blamed cowbells. They prescribed leeches and opium. Commanders banned certain folk songs because one melody could hollow out a regiment. Now here is the first thing your brain is doing to you. Ask an 80-year-old for the memories of their life and you will not get an even spread. You get a spike. A huge cluster from roughly age 10 to 30 and thin ground after. David Rubin documented this so consistently it has a name. The reminiscence bump. Why that window? Because that is when you were assembling a self. Everything in it is a first. Novel experiences get encoded deeply. Repeated ones get compressed into a blur. A year with 12 firsts leaves an enormous deposit. A year spent doing what you did last year leaves almost nothing. So if 2016 sits inside your bump, you are not comparing a year to a year. You are comparing a year recorded in high definition to years barely recorded at all. That explains why the memory is loud, not why it is warm. That takes a second mechanism, and this one is ruthless. W. Richard Walker and John Skoronsky had people keep diaries rating how events felt, then rate the same events again from memory months later. The bad feelings drained away faster than the good ones. Both faded. One faded quicker. They called it the fading affect bias. A memory is not a fixed object. It sits in a slow acid bath, and the acid eats the negative first. Give it 8 years, and what survives a hard year is a highlight reel with the bad parts turned down. You did not decide 2016 was beautiful. You outlived the parts that were not. So why does the brain bother? Here is the twist. It is not a malfunction. It is a repair system, and it does not switch on at random. At the University of Southampton, Konstantin Sedekides and Tim Wildschut made people feel lonely in a lab, then watched what happened. Nostalgia rose. Then they ran it backwards. They induced nostalgia and measured what followed. People felt more socially supported, more connected to who they used to be. Their sense that life had meaning went up. Read that sequence again. Loneliness triggers nostalgia. Nostalgia produces connection. It is not a wound, it is a thermostat. When the room gets cold, something switches on. Alone on an ancient landscape, a human being is a slow, soft, clawless animal. Separation was not painful, it was lethal. So your mind evolved a way to reach for the group when the group is not there, and run the warmth of belonging through your body like a fire in an empty house. The ache is not the problem. The ache is the alarm. Now look at what has been built on top of that. Every platform you use hunts for whatever stops your thumb. It does not need to understand nostalgia. It only needs to notice that clips from a certain span of years hold you longer than anything else. And because millions of people your age share the same bump, that pattern is not just detectable, it is enormous, predictable, sellable. Your grief has a demographic. And notice what people actually say about that era. Not events, a texture. Things felt lighter. Nothing felt like it had stakes yet. But you were not living in a lighter world. You were living in a world you had not yet learned to be afraid of. What you miss is not a safer year. It is an earlier version of your own nervous system, one that had not yet cataloged what was coming. Which means the ache is not pointing backward. It is pointing at something missing right now. Fewer people in the room. Fewer firsts. Less worth recording. 10 years from now, something will stop your thumb. It will be footage from this year, the one that currently feels like waiting. And you will not believe it. So somewhere in the next few weeks, another video will stop your thumb. Let it. But know what you are looking at. That was never a better year. It was a year with more first times in it, and more people in the room. The ache was never asking you to go back. It was asking who is in the room now.